Hello everyone, welcome to TechwondersDevops YouTube channel. As I mentioned earlier, I am going to start with AWS DevOps free masterclass. So today is the day one. Today I am going to explain about the fundamentals of DevOps and about Agile methodology. What is the difference between Agile and DevOps and why we use DevOps methodology in the software development lifecycle. Let's start with the day one masterclass. So DevOps fundamentals. Before going to DevOps, we should understand about Agile methodology. So Agile is a methodology like how previously we were using waterfall model in the iterative development software development lifecycle. So Agile is a methodology is an iterative approach to project management and software development that emphasizes flexibility, collaboration, and customer satisfaction. So this agile methodology, we are going to use it. The main purpose of agile is flexibility, collaboration, and customer satisfaction is the main key functions. So in that one, we are going to see what is the key steps in agile. First one is plan. So plan is the first step in agile. As we know, in the DevOps lifecycle, we have 8 stages. So first one is the plan. So in this particular stage, we are going to plan the application development, how how the application should look like, and what is the requirement, how we are going to develop an application, and what is the timeline to release it and provide to the client. So as we discussed in the earlier, we are going to work on one particular application, Flipkart. So we are going to get the complete requirements from the client and we will proceed with the further stage. So that is a plan. And next is design part. So design is nothing but we are going to not from DevOps. The plan and design will be taken care by different role. Like architect is going to work on the design part. They are going to get the design and set up the client meetings, how the design should look like, what is the modules, and how application should work. Everything will be decide and make the ready of design. So design is ready, then the development stage, that is the next step in agile. So development is the development team going to work on it. They are going to write the code and they are going to develop an application here. And the next stage is test. Testing is nothing but QA team will be taking care. So in the previous model, that is waterfall model, but here it will be included with a DevOps. It will be quality analyzing. We are going to check the testing of the application by using automation tools with agile methodology and DevOps mechanisms. Next is deploy. So once the test is done, it's going to deploy and deploying the application to the different environments like dev stage and production environments. We are going to deploy. Clients going to access the application in the live. Next is review. Review is nothing but we are going to get the continuous feedback here from the client side, and they are going to, if they are facing any issues, they will raise the ticket with the support team. That one will be taken care by support team and operations team. So here we can see agile methodology life cycle. As we discussed, it is started with a plan and design. So once the plan is done, it's go to the design part, design phase, and it will move to the development. develop, and it will go to the testing. So it will be continuous process with from the plan, design, and then develop, then test. Till here it will be plan is a one particular phase, and from design to test it will be automation will start in the one phase. And once the testing is done and they approve for the further deployment, it will be deploy and review will be take the further action to develop deploy into the client production environments, and it will launch the application. That will be production release product we are going to release to the client. So what is the main benefits of agile methodology here? So benefits of agile is faster time to market. So we are going to faster time, within the timeline we are going to reach the target, and we are going to delivery or release the application and improve collaboration. So while using agile methodology, we are going to communicate with the different teams here. It will be development, operations, and other teams like including platform team, infra team, then QA team. Everything will be included here. So it's going to improve the collaboration between teams, and communication between the teams will be high while we using agile methodology. Next is continuous improvement, like the improvement of the team, improvement of the production, improvement of the organization. Everything will be it's going to improve here when we use agile methodology, because we are going to get the continuous feedback from the client as well, and also we are going to work with the different teams here. Once we get the any issues or feedback from the client, feedback is nothing but, for example, client is expecting small changes in the application, they are going to connect with the support team, and they will provide the feedback, and they will raise the request to provide the required changes, and we are going to communicate with the development team, and we will work on that particular changes in the sprint. As we know, in the DevOps we have, in the agile methodology we have sprint technology. Like in a sprint, every 2 weeks they are going to the development team going to work on the particular changes, and every time the changes will be deploying onto the automatically it's going to the production. That is a continuous feedback it will happen. Okay, so till now we have discussed about how what is the agile methodology and how we are going to improve everything with the production. But there are some advantages and disadvantages with the agile model. First one is advantages. Client requirements are better understood because of the constant feedback. As we as I mentioned now, we are going to get the constant feedback from the client, and we can easily understand about client requirements, and we are going to make the required changes to the application. Because of this one, the communication between client and our engineers will be very good, and it will be without any problems we are going to work on it, and the quality of the application will be very high, and also we are going to provide very secured application while we using this methodology. Okay, next is product is delivered much faster as compared to waterfall model. So if you use waterfall model, it will take to deliver an application 6 to 8 months, but we when we use DevOps or agile model, we can deliver the application within the timeline where client asks for the particular timeline. If they asked for the 4 to 6 months timeline to release application, but we are going to use this model, and we will release the application within 3 months, that will be partial delivery, but we will be working on the application in the backend, and we will get the continuous feedback from the client to improve productivity. So as we discussed, these are the advantages, and there are disadvantages of agile. First one is the product gets tested only on developer computers and not on production systems. So the testing will be done in the only lower environments, and everything is testing is done, everything is working fine. Then we are going to directly deploy to the production servers with the help of CI/CD. So that is one of the disadvantages here. And if client is facing some issues, then again we are going to work on the we are going to made the changes and test in the lower environments and deploy to the production environments. So here the developers and operations team will be working on a silos, like they are going to work like continuously, and they both the teams will be working on the same task, like it is not on the separations. That is one of the advantages or like disadvantage. Okay, so till now we have discussed agile methodology. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about DevOps. Agile and DevOps both are same. What is the difference between Agile and DevOps is it is a basic, as a beginner you should know about Agile and DevOps. DevOps is combination of development and operations. It is a simple term, dev and operations. Software development and IT operations is a combined here to create a more powerful, efficient software development process. That is a DevOps. And Agile is a series of methodologies around iterative development designed to make tasks smaller and more manageable and increase collaboration. So, Agile is a methodology, one of the methodology. Agile is a series of methodologies in the iterative development, and it's going to use mainly for the increased collaboration between teams and to provide the productivity of the application. DevOps is one of the part of Agile methodology. That is the difference between Agile and DevOps. Okay. Now let's discuss about DevOps. So we have two different teams, development and operations. And here we are going to use as a development team, they are going to work on design and implementation, or we can call it coding and development. So the development team will be a development department. They are going to work on design and coding part. So they are going to develop the application. Next is operations team. So what operations team was doing? They are going to work on mainly manage servers, check security, scaling and backup. So and then they are going to manage. Main thing is the development team work will be only design part, and they are going to write the code to develop the application. Then operations team mainly will be creating the servers, whatever the required for the application, what is the workload. They are going to check the load of the applications, and they are going to create a servers, and they check the security of the application is very important. As we developing application for the client, it should be high security. It should not allow any hacking, and it should not share any personal data. That's why we maintain security for the application. And scaling and backup. Scaling is nothing but we to make it highly available to avoid any load with this particular application. We have to use a scaling and backup of the application is a important. If we lost any data, then again we have to deploy the backup of application. So these things operations team is going to work on it, and also they will work with the along with support, that is monitoring. So monitoring also included with the support team. Monitoring. So monitoring is just a not just application monitoring. They have to work on monitoring application, servers, everything they have to work. So they have to mainly is first thing is they have to monitor the application. If the it is working or not, they are going to set up the alarms, everything, and they we have to monitor servers as well. So this work will be operations team will done by using DevOps. So here we are going to use DevOps. Dev plus Ops is DevOps. By using DevOps, we are going to work as a team, collaborating with the everyone, and we will work with the development. It will be Dev and operations. That's why it is DevOps. So using this DevOps, what is the advantage? Like mainly before going to explanation about DevOps, we use currently are using development separate, operations separate. But if you use the dev and operations together by using DevOps methodology, what is the advantage is? Main first thing is productivity. Productivity. So productivity is nothing but we as a employees we have to provide a high end application and it should be security, and we have to provide on time. Everything should be under productivity. We have to provide within the timeline, and we should be available, the application should be available every time for the clients without any disturbance like discrepancy. We have to provide the application. And speed is nothing but we provide the delivery, we are going to deliver the application within the time limit. That's why within the particular time limit we are going to increase the speed, and also the application speed will be high when we use DevOps methodology. Collaboration. So all these will be increasing when we use DevOps. Productivity will be increase, speed will increase, and collaboration also will increase when we use. So collaboration between the teams will be high when we use DevOps. And load. So load should decrease every time for the application. Otherwise, it will work very slow. While we using scaling here, auto scaling and load balancing, it will be load will be manageable by using automations. That's why load will decrease here. And the quality of the product. So quality of the product will be high. Very high quality applications we can build and deploy by using complete DevOps lifecycle here. That is the main advantages of DevOps. Okay. Now let's discuss about DevOps in detail. So DevOps is we have already discussed is a software development methodology which improves collaboration between developers and operations team using various automation tools. So we communicate between the teams, development and operation, but how we are going to communicate? It is not just normal calls or not just meetings. We are going to increase the collaboration using various automation tools, that is the DevOps tools. These automation tools are implemented using various stages of the DevOps lifecycle. So here you can see which is there in the lavender color, it is a dev team, and in the yellow it is a ops team. Dev and Ops. We have 8 stages in DevOps: plan, code, build, test is a considered as Dev. Release, deploy, operate and monitor is considered as Ops. That is a Dev and Ops. So let's discuss about DevOps lifecycle and how we are going to use continuous automations here. So first 4 stages is plan, code, build, test. In the first two, plan, code, it will be we are going to use as a continuous development, and next to continuous testing. So let's discuss in detail. So here you can see continuous development will be start with the developers. They are going to write the code. They are going to push the all the changes to the version control system. So this is the continuous development. So all the changes, whatever it is going to write by development team, the developers will push the code to GitHub repository by using version control tool, that is Git. Here you can see version control system. Example tool is Git. I am going to take it as Git. This one is we use continuous development. And next is continuous integration. So continuous integration will start with the once code is pushed to remote repository by development team, it will start with a continuous integration. There it will divide to two parts. One is continuous deployment and another one is continuous testing. So this is a CI/CD pipeline. First thing is continuous development. The stage involves committing code to version control tools such as Git or SVN. We can take it. Git is a distributed version control system and SVN is a centralized version control tool. So we are going to discuss about what is the difference between these two in the Git classes. So version control tools such as Git and SVN for maintaining the different versions of code, and tools like Ant, Maven, Gradle for building packaging codes into executable file that can be forwarded to the QAs for testing. So this is the complete continuous development stage includes. It includes the tools called version control tool and build tool. It's going to included here. That is a continuous development. As a developer, they are going to write the code and push into remote repository by using version control tool. And as a DevOps engineer, we are going to take it and build the application by using build tools. Here the testing as a DevOps engineers we are going to do by using automation tools. Otherwise, we if we have the separate testing team, then we are going to provide it to the testing team. That is a continuous development. Next is continuous integration. So continuous integration and continuous deployment is very important. This stage is a critical point in the whole DevOps lifecycle. So it is very important. We should know, and also every DevOps engineer should know about CI/CD. It deals with integrating the different stages of DevOps lifecycle, and therefore the key in automating the whole DevOps process. See, as I told, the DevOps CI/CD will be very important. This one will integrate with all the other stages: version control, build, testing, deployment. Everything will be communicate with the automation tool, that is CI/CD tool. Everything will be connected here only. Without CI/CD, we are going to work on manual. So if you want to complete automation, then will be CI/CD is a very important. That's why the integration, continuous integration is very important process in DevOps. Next is continuous deployment. In this stage, the code is built the environment or the application is containerized and is pushed to the desired server. So the deployment is nothing but we are going to copy the developed code to the particular servers, application servers, or we can, if we are using containerized application, then we are going to push into the containers. The key processes in this stage are configuration management, virtualization, and containerization. So here we are going to use different tools called Ansible for the continuous deployment and configuration management purpose, and virtualization purpose we use Kubernetes, and containerization purpose we use Docker. See, till now we have checked continuous development. We use Git as version control tool. In the build we use Maven, Gradle, other build tools. That is continuous development. And next is testing. We are going to use the testing tool here. Another one is continuous integration. We use Jenkins continuous integration tool, and deployment we use Docker along with Ansible and Kubernetes. These are the continuous deployment purpose we use. Next is continuous testing. The stage deals with automated testing of the application pushed by developers. So once the code is pushed by developer and we build the application and test the application code. If there is any error, the message is sent back to the integration tool. This tool does notify the developer of the error. So we are not going to communicate with developer here. We we are going to integrate it with the integration tool, that is the Jenkins, and communicate with the developers by sending notification through the CI/CD tool. If there will be different scripts we are going to write. If test is successful, then it should go to the deployment. If the test is failed, then it should go back to the development team. So here in this one, if test is successful, then it should go to the deployment Tomcat servers. If it is failed, then it should go to the back to the development team and check for the fix for that particular bug. If the test was success, the message is sent to the integration tool, which pushes to the build on the production server. That's what we do in the continuous testing. The next last part is continuous monitoring. The stage continuously monitors the deployed application for bugs or crashes. So this particular stage monitor the deployed application which is already deployed, and we are going to monitor it by using monitoring tools. Here you can see Grafana, Prometheus. These are the different monitoring tools. It can also set up to collect user feedback, and the collected data is then sent to the developers to improve application. So the feedback is nothing but users is nothing but customers, their client. We are going to get the continuous feedback from the client, and if there is any changes required, the developer team will be work on those changes and they are going to release it in the upcoming sprint. Like that it will work. That is about DevOps lifecycle. So in the end, we have to discuss, if you use DevOps, what is the advantages and disadvantages. So if you, any methodology or any tools, if you use, there will be both positive and negatives. So we are going to discuss those are advantages. First is DevOps is an excellent approach for quick development and deployment of application. So we can do it quickly by using DevOps approach. Here it responds faster to the market changes to improve business growth. So I am telling multiple times, DevOps is not single technology or a single skill. It will be high end methodology we are going to use. and we are going to respond to the market. For example, currently there are chat gpt gen ai tools. So as a devops engineer, we are going to implement the gen ai tools in the devops lifecycle. So we are going to respond to the market, whatever the updated technologies we are getting, and we improve the business growth. DevOps clears the descriptive process, which gives clarity on the production, development, and delivery. So it will be descriptive process and it will be very clarity, like there will be no any hiding here. Everything will be in the clarification and we should get the development and delivery within time. It improves customer experience and satisfaction. So every time we are going to improve the customer experience and satisfaction. That's why we provide highly productive application. DevOps simplify collaboration and places all the tools in the cloud for customer to access. So we are going to, as a, till now we have discussed only about DevOps tools everywhere, but where we use cloud. So we are going to use the cloud as a main source here. Every applications we are going to install in the cloud, and customer can access application including their data, everything. So everything will be in the cloud itself. That's why it will be very secured. The security purpose we are going to use different services of AWS or Azure or GCP. These are the different cloud computing cloud providers. DevOps means collective responsibility, which leads to better team engagement and productivity. So in the DevOps, there will be no single person responsibility, or they are going to only one person working on many things. Nothing like that. It will be collective responsibility. Every team member should be working on each task, and it will be team engagement will be high and productivity will be high when we use as a team, when we work as a team. If only one person is working on multiple tasks, then there will be issues and also there will be failure in the process. Okay, advantages is fine, but we have DevOps also have the disadvantages. First thing is DevOps professional or experts developer are less available. This was a disadvantage in the past, but compared to now, compared to previous years, now DevOps engineers are high. I think there is no disadvantages here. Many of the engineers are learning DevOps methodology, and also even including developers, test engineers, everyone need to be learn at least 2 to 3 technologies of DevOps. Even if you go for the development team, they should know Git and some other build tools and some cloud computing technologies as well. Developing with DevOps is so expensive. So some of the DevOps tools is open source, but if you want advanced level technology, then we have to pay for it. That's why it will be some expensive. Even if you work on the cloud also, we have to pay as you use. That's why it will be expensive. Adopting new DevOps technology into the industries is hard to manage in short time. So DevOps technology, as I told, we have to upgrade every time in the as industry required, and we have to learn every time. That's why it will take time to manage everything. Lack of DevOps knowledge can be problem in the continuous integration of automation projects. So if you know only one or two two tools and you are ready to work on DevOps projects, then it is not possible. You have to learn complete DevOps methodology. You have to learn all the DevOps lifecycle stages tools. Then only you can work on automation. Otherwise, it will be difficult to survive. That is about DevOps. Okay. Now the next thing is we have discussed about DevOps. Everything is fine. And next is, what is the DevOps engineer do in the real time? Like, what is your roles and responsibility? So, as a DevOps engineer, how day-to-day activities will be there? We can discuss now. So, as a DevOps engineer, is first thing you will be in the two different teams. One is mainly including in the development. Another one is operations. So it is depends upon the which team you are hired. If you are part of development, and you should know these tools mainly. One is Git, then build tool, any build tool. It can be Maven, Gradle, example I can take. And next is CI/CD tool, Jenkins. And the deployment like application server, we have to use Tomcat, the application server. And next is containerization. So you should know containerization, Docker with a Kubernetes. So on top of this, you should know these tools is very important. Those are not DevOps tools, but as a DevOps engineer, we should know Linux operating system and cloud. Cloud is you can learn any of the cloud. Here I am going to discuss about AWS. So as a DevOps team into the part of Dev, then these are the mandatory required, and operations will be they are also working, and they should know about at least basics tools. These are the basic tools, and including this they should know about monitoring tools, then Ansible configuration management tool. These are the mandatory tools for the operations side, and these are the for the development side. So as a mutual, there will be role like day-to-day activities. First thing is we have to work on CI/CD pipelines. It can be implementation. So if you are joined as a experienced candidate and you joined for the scratch, like it is a new project, you have to work from the scratch. Then you have to work on the implementation of Jenkins CI/CD. So Jenkins CI/CD you have to implement. That is the main thing we work, and managing Git version control and source code management tool GitHub. So this one will be working on mainly setting up the application. We are going to manage the version control, like all the versions will be tracking, and also as a source code management tool we will work, sometimes we work into the GitHub administration, like we are going to provide the access for the different users from the development, testing and DevOps teams. Writing Ansible playbooks for the configuration management. So these are the mandatory, like normally we work in the day-to-day activities on Docker, image creations, Kubernetes deployments. So we work on the Kubernetes deployments, including troubleshooting of the Kubernetes and Docker. These are all the mainly we work, and also in the beginning we also work on the complete using Git, Maven, SonarQube, and Jenkins. Need to build and deploy the build and deploy the application. So we use Git, Maven, SonarQube, Tomcat, and Jenkins. We are going to build and deploy the application, and we write the CI/CD pipelines for this to automate the complete process of the CI/CD. It can be continuous integration and delivery. Sometimes we use continuous deployments also. We have to do it. These are all the main day-to-day activities. Sometimes it depends upon the role we got it. As a fresher, it will be very less responsibility. As an experience, we are going to get more responsibility on this. That is about the day-to-day activities of DevOps engineer. And today we have discussed about DevOps and agile methodologies and day-to-day activities of DevOps engineer. From next class, I am going to start with DevOps tools in the day 2 of AWS DevOps free master course. Please subscribe my channel and share with your friends if content is useful. Thank you.